another episode of Anderson TV. I'm Josiah Anderson. So, today we're going to talk about um, one of the most popular social media apps. No, I'm not talking about Instagram or TikTok or Snapchat, even though I use only one of those social media things. So, today we're talking about Reddit. And for those who don't know what Reddit is, um, it is some sort of social media app where that you probably share what questions do you have, what concerns do you have about a certain topic that interests you, and then a total stranger would reply. I mean, Reddit's been around long as I can remember. So, but today we're going to talk about why don't I use that app anymore. So, there's a lot of reasons why, but we're going to get into those reasons right here on this episode. So anyways, we'll be right back. So anyways, I already defined what Reddit is. So anyways, so I've been using Reddit since about a year or two ago, 2023. I used Reddit to create some sort of community. I created a community with other Law and Order fans. I'm a big fan of Law and Order. So I wanted to create my fan fictions and I want to spread the word about, okay, so buy a script or something that matter. I came up with my own fan fiction idea for the show. I wrote fan fiction scripts. I mean, I've been writing them since, even before we even heard of this AI stuff, so way back in 2018. So anyways, no one was interested in that. Then, I decided to use Reddit in case I had questions that I wanted to ask about certain topics. I mean, like with school, with health and college, and vice versa. So, anyways, when it came to desperate times, desperate measures, of course, I went on there, of course, asking for stuff. Of course, no one would help. I needed a certain amount of karma or something like that. Karma, to me, is a social credit score. So, Reddit practically has social credit scores to even allow you to do to get some of the basic stuff. So, I will also discuss politics there as well. But here's the problem with my politics. So, a majority of Reddit users are left-wing, right? So anyways, whenever there's a dire situation or something like that, there were times for assistance during those times. Of course, the last time I used Reddit was a month ago. So it was a very dire situation. So I was so when these people found out about my profile and they looked at my conservative views, of course, they would not talk about the situation, but much rather talk about my political views. Like, why do you want to shut down the Department of Education? Or stop begging people for something and just vote Democrat or something like that so you get stuff that you want. Because conservatives are taking everything away. So, it goes to show that even during desperate situations, of course, liberals on there don't even care. And I said, well, okay, this is how it is. This is how it is on here. So anyways, and I remember seeing something on Reddit. Of course, they're calling for violence against ICE. They're calling for violence against the President of the United States. They're calling for violence against pretty much any conservative. I mean, I saw that. I mean, it was on my homepage or something like that, which it should have not been on my homepage, but it was. I mean, like I said, Reddit's a predominantly leftist platform. So anyways, I created many communities that no one was interested in joining. I created a mental health group for conservatives only. I didn't want to do that, but it was left with no choice. Because in November, of course, it was like after Thanksgiving. I was part of a Reddit group for people aged 13, 19 years old. I fit into that criteria. I was 18. So, anyways, I talk about like my mental health problems, and of course, then they want to jump on the attack for my political views. Many downvotes. And you know, many downvotes mean you lose karma points, which is that social credit score. So it doesn't matter whether you're conservative with like mental health issues or anything like that. Of course, liberals will attack you, no matter what. So anyways, I decided not to be part of that group anymore. So anyways, I know that we should be probably unite. But what is the point of uniting with morons on Reddit that are intolerable and don't even follow their own rules? I mean, one of the rules of that Reddit community is to not attack the victim. I don't want to call myself a victim or anything, but in that situation I was. They broke their rules, and I was banned from that group because I had pointed out that they broke their own rule. That there were people that were breaking their rules in that community, and I was banned for that. And I was like, okay, so I might as well create my own group, but no one was interested. So anyways, some of you might be suggesting, why can't you create a new account or something like that? I mean, you'll earn way more upvotes. Well, it's because Reddit is nothing but a pointless platform. That's all I'm going to say. It's a pointless platform. It is a left-wing indoctrination hub where that you require a social credit score in order to be part of certain groups. Even for groups that you probably need help with groceries, help with advice, or something of that matter. I mean, talking with people, like-minded people. You need a certain amount of karma for that. So, anyways, this goes to show how ridiculous this is. So I don't know if the app is the problem or I'm the problem, but whatever the problem is, of course, I found the solution. I'm never using that app ever again. So, anyways, and I don't want anyone to convince me to use it again. So, because I'm very strong about my political views, I'm an American citizen. I have my First Amendment right to voice out my opinions. I don't need a karma score or anything like that to tell me otherwise. I have a right to speak out my mind. I have a right to agree with you. I have a right to disagree with you. But the nerve of those people on Reddit attacking, talking about my political views. Well, of course they have a right to talk about it. But sometimes they talk about it even though it has nothing to do with what I'm trying to say. It doesn't make any sense. So, on that note, I'm never using the app again. And I'm not using TikTok or Snapchat or anything like that. So, but I'm only going to stick with the social media apps that I know. That's all there is to it. So, anyways, we'll be right back. Okay, everyone, so that is it for this week's episode of Anderson TV. So, anyways, season 37 has finally come to an end. Now, I'm thinking about creating like a new intro for season 38. So, anyways, because August will be that month where I make that transition between moving out and going on campus. So I think the final episode for that season will be me at LSUS. Of course it will. I mean, it'll be the final episode. So I'm thinking I'm going to split, thinking that I might not do an episode for 1 week in August. So anyways, Anderson TV, of course, be taking a hiatus until the second week of August. Until the second full week of August, probably do an episode again. So, of course, that's how we're going to do that. Then to probably make time for doing an episode of LSUS. So anyways, depends on what goes on. So anyways, that's another season coming on. So anyways, if you guys haven't seen the videos and the posts that I made about the LSUS student orientation tour, then feel free. To check out those posts. Alright, so that is all I have to say. I'm Josiah Anderson, signing off. Goodbye, everyone.